Hello, today I will explain the Edit Vertices feature in Vector Editor. This functionality allows customers to edit nodes and vectors. It not only supports optimizing adjustments for individual vector objects, but also enables node optimization for multiple vector objects with collinear topological relationships. Let's start with editing nodes for a single object. Click on the Edit Vertices button, and then select the vector object that needs to be edited. After selection, the vector object and its nodes will be highlighted, and a dialog box for vector node editing will appear. Please note that once you enter the node editing mode, the left mouse button will only respond to vector selection, node addition, and other similar operations. It will no longer rotate the point cloud view. If you need to rotate the point cloud view, please hold the V key on your keyboard while using the left mouse button. By checking the Display Nodes option, both selected vector objects and their corresponding nodes will be highlighted. There are 4 ways to move nodes. First method. When the mouse is close to a vector node, the software automatically captures the nearest node. The crosshair will turn red to indicate that the node has been captured. Press and drag the left mouse button to move the node to the desired position, thereby modifying its coordinates. Additionally, you can also drag and move the edges of the selected vector. Second method. When the mouse is close to a vector node, the software automatically captures the nearest node. The crosshair will turn red to indicate that the node has been captured. Then right-click and a drop-down menu will appear. In this menu, you will find options like Move and Move To. Move allows you to move the node to a relative position by setting values for X, Y, and Z. Move To allows you to move the node to an absolute position by setting values for X, Y, and Z. If you set the Select Z Value checkbox, you can directly select a position on the point cloud as the Z value. Third method. You can directly modify each value of the node by double-clicking on the corresponding cell in the Node Editing dialog box. In the 3D window, you will see that the node updates its position in real time. Fourth method. To modify the Z value of the node, you can select one or multiple nodes in the node editing table by single-clicking or holding Ctrl and selecting multiple nodes. The selected nodes will be highlighted. Then right-click to open a context menu. The Z function is used to modify the elevation value. This is useful when you need to set all the nodes of a vector object to the same elevation or modify them with a cumulative value. Click on the blank space in the upper left corner of the node editing table to select all nodes. Right-click again and choose Z or use the keyboard shortcut Q to enter a value in the prompt. If you don't check the cumulative option, the elevation value of all points will be modified to the entered value. If you check cumulative, each node's elevation will be incremented by the entered value based on its current elevation. Add node. Select the desired location on the vector object where you want to add the node. The crosshair will turn orange, indicating that it has captured the edge of the vector data. Then right-click and select the Add Node option from the drop-down menu, or use the keyboard shortcut I. A vector node will be added to the 3D scene, and its information will automatically appear in the node editing table. When you hover over an edge, you will see a red cube representing the midpoint between two nodes. To add a node at the midpoint position, move the mouse cursor to the red cube. When the cube turns green, it indicates that the midpoint has been captured. You can then add the node at that position. Deleting nodes can be done in 2 ways. First method, in the node editing table, select a row and delete a specific node. You can also hold the Control key to select multiple nodes for deletion. Alternatively, click on the upper left cell of the node editing table to select all nodes and then delete them. For a second row, right-click to open a drop-down menu and choose the Delete Node option, or use the Delete key on your keyboard. This will remove the corresponding row from the table and delete the selected vector nodes in the 3D scene, resulting in the vector being redrawn. Second method. In the selected vector object, choose the node you want to delete, or select one or multiple nodes in the node editing table. Then in the 3D window, move the mouse cursor over the selected nodes. The cursor will turn red to indicate that the node has been captured. Right-click and select the Delete Node option from the drop-down menu to use the Delete key. This will delete the selected vector nodes in the 3D scene and redraw the vector. Additionally, the corresponding rows will be removed from the table. Please note that when deleting nodes for a single vector object, you can click the right mouse button in the blank area on the right side of the software to open a drop-down menu. From there, click on the Output button to view real-time output results. For point layers, at least one node must be retained. For line layers, at least 2 nodes must be retained. And for polygon layers, at least 3 nodes must be retained. There is also a warning prompt in the lower right corner of the software. When dealing with multiple objects, you can delete the selected objects. Topological editing of vector structures allows modifications to overlapping vector edges and nodes if the Preserve Topology option is checked. Moving, adding, or deleting shared nodes will apply changes to the shared node or edges in line or polygon features. To begin, click on the vector object you want to edit with the mouse. The selected vector object and its corresponding layer will be displayed in real time on the right side of the vector selection page. When the mouse captures an edge, you will see that it is highlighted in red, indicating that the vector has a topological edge that can be edited. The main functionalities for topological edge node editing are edge movement, node deletion, node addition, and node movement. The editing results will be applied to multiple layers within the currently selected edge. Edge movement. Drag the currently selected edge to the desired position using the mouse directly. Node deletion. Select the node and right-click to delete it, or use the delete key. Node addition. Right-click to add a node, or use the shortcut key I. Alternatively, when a red box appears, representing the center of the current edge, move the mouse cursor over the red box. When the red box turns green, it indicates that the midpoint of the edge has been captured. You can then add a node at that position. Node movement. Move the node by dragging it directly or capture the node. Right-click and choose Move or Move to perform the movement. Compared to normal node editing, shared edge node editing cannot be performed in the node editing table. You cannot use the shortcut key Q to open the Z modification dialog box, but other operations remain the same. When editing nodes, you can also use a shortcut by holding the Shift key and dragging the left mouse button to lasso select the nodes. Then perform the desired node editing operations. Each time you lasso select, the selected nodes will be updated. That concludes the explanation of node editing in this video about vector editing. Thank you for watching.